Eagle's Wings began as a dream of my husband and myself when we were working in Louisiana in a large Southern Baptist camp that served 187 churches.
We started in this business almost 40 years ago working with kids in camp. I was the administrator of the Dry Creek Baptist Camp in Louisiana.
And every year during the summer, this church associational camp allowed us to work 3 days with girls and 3 days with boys who were at risk in opportunity camps where these kids would never otherwise have been able to come to camp. We got to bring them to camp, all expenses paid, and work with them for 3 days.
John came up to us at the end of camp and told our director, he said, "You know, this is the first time in my life I ever felt like someone really loved me."
We felt led of God to move to New Mexico and build a youth camp where we would work with summer camping programs with these kinds of kids full-time.
We received a response from a little town called Mountain Air that we'd never heard of, but it was an intriguing letter that we got, so we came out and visited, and as we were visiting and looking around, we felt like this must be where God wants us, right in the center of the state of New Mexico.
When we moved to New Mexico, we came by faith, trusting God to provide for this ministry so that we could do it without any expense to the campers whatsoever.
By the grace of God, property was made available through the First Baptist Church in Mountain Air, and we were able to establish our program on this beautiful piece of property in the shadow of the Manzano Mountains.
We saw the vision for Eagle's Wings being adventure recreation, which is outdoor-based games that build on themselves. You start with warm-up activities and you move into games where kids get really excited and having fun, and then you move into initiatives where they have to solve problems together as a team.
It gives boys and girls an opportunity to learn how to work together with other boys and girls. It learns teamwork, and it's a challenge. There's risk involved, and they overcome the fear of maybe climbing a height. They learn that they have to work together in order to accomplish goals.
You might see them before a tire that's suspended from some poles where they're told that there's been a cave-in as their group has been exploring a cave.
They have to decide who's going to be the first one and who's going to be the last one. These are important decisions, and they have to help each other. Teamwork is very important.
And that's what we're about at Eagle's Wings. We don't want kids to feel alienated, but we want them to feel loved. And we want them to know, regardless of their behavior or their past, that we can help them to do it differently and to change and to make better decisions. But even if they don't, that we love them just the way they are.
Once the boys and girls leave our camp, that's not the end. We stay in touch with them. We try to contact their families, and we feel like that it's very important that the families learn something about what we have tried to teach the boys and girls.
Eagle's Wings is all about making a difference in people's lives and helping young people to learn right from wrong, and that they can make right choices and they can make wrong choices in their life, and that it's really up to them to decide which one that's going to be.
One thing that stood out most to me was the staffers always sharing God's love and showing it to us. Because of my time as a camper, I was encouraged to go home and share with my friends and family what I had learned and God's love. I was also encouraged to come back and serve as a staffer so I can encourage others in the same way I was. At a point in my life, I was going through a very difficult time. During that point, I got the opportunity to spend one-on-one time with Joel. Joel was very enthusiastic and outgoing. He was always asking me questions like, "Miss Brianna, aren't you having fun?" Or he would say to me, "Miss Brianna, you need to smile more." At the end of the week, I realized that I need to be a better example for him. I was taught a very important lesson throughout that week. Even though Joel was going through difficult situations as well, I realized that I just needed to give it all to God and know that He's in control of everything. Throughout that week, Joel was the one who was teaching me. If it weren't for the ranch, I wouldn't have realized that God and other people could love me and accept me for who I am.
My name is Todd Sledge. I'm the Executive Director here at Eagles Wings Youth Ranch. The first time I experienced Eagles Wings was in 1999 as a summer staffer. The spiritual poverty of the campers touched my heart, and the work of Christ in their life really gave me a hunger to be a part of what God was doing here. Over the years, I stayed in contact with Albert and Diane through small donations, letters, and visits until the Lord directed me to leave my job and move my family over 600 miles to join Him here full-time in 2006. The needs of New Mexico's youth have not changed. Every vulnerable child that comes to Eagles Wings comes spiritually destitute in need of God's transforming love. Partner with us by volunteering, praying, or giving to make a difference in the lives of these at-risk youth. However you choose to be involved in Eagles Wings, I can guarantee you lives will be changed by your generosity.